I should be live. Actually, I'm gonna tweet that I'm live because I didn't do that yet. Working on platformer stuff. Cool. Yeah, okay. How's it going? Hey. Boot up the game quickly, see if it actually runs. It was running last night, so we'll see if it's running again. Cool. So remember, like, when I started streaming again 2 weeks ago, I started the stream and then immediately the game was not running, even though it was working like 10 minutes before I streamed. Yeah, the weeks are just good. Weeks are just flying by now. We'll see how long I can keep it up for. I really wanted to try streaming like on a schedule, and I don't know if Sundays will always work because sometimes I have stuff on Sundays, but I want to try to keep streaming at least once a week, but see how it goes. Hey. Yeah, so today I want to work on one specific idea I had for this area, and then I'm not sure what I'm going to do after that. After that, I'm going to work on some pixel art and like make the style of this area, like work on the theming of this area, because it's kind of like this is not the art that I'm planning for this area. It's supposed to be kind of more like sky, loft, towers, like concrete towers in the sky kind of thing for this area. So this is actually my subway tile set right now, so that's probably gonna change. Hey, good evening. How's it going? Oh, whoa, I just turned invisible. That's fun. What the fuck? That was really weird. How'd that happen? I'm so look at that. I don't know how that happened. Did I get hurt and then it just turned invisible? Weird, okay. Well, we'll take a look. It might not be a sprite thing. I was working on my movement code a lot last night, so that almost felt like a not a number error, because like I turned invisible and then I didn't fall at the bottom of the map, which would happen if I was actually invisible, which implies that maybe my position got completely messed up. So I might have ridden a bug in last night. I guess we'll see. But yeah, I was working on movement code a lot yesterday, so that a lot more like the game was very finicky before, and I'm not using like a proper physics engine. I'm just using like separating axis theorem and then simple pushouts. So I had a lot of weird issues, and I just recoded it all. So now a lot of stuff works. Like you can get crushed by things, and it's all nice, and behaves normally mostly. There's still a few issues, but in general, it's pretty good now. So yeah, I just fixed a bug where if you like walked into here, you get crushed. So that's good. So now you actually have to get like crushed by something to be crushed. Like you can't even get crushed. So there we go. Yeah. So that's been good. Yeah, my plan for today, at least to start with, anyways, is like I want to add like moving platforms that move when you pull them with a lever. So there's going to be like levers that you can probably either attack with your sword, or you can pull with the grappling hook, and when you pull them, it'll like pull the lever, and then the platforms will like move around. Is my current plan, and then we'll see where it goes from there. I think that'd be fun for like little timed platforming puzzles where you kind of have to like pull the lever and then like do some platforming. Sounds cool to me. So. Also, let me know if the audio's good, because I increased the music volume. My microphone's way over here. Maybe I'll move my microphone more actually like in front of me instead of way off to the side. What happened to the bird game? It still exists. I just haven't worked on it recently. My brother and I, so like the bird game, like both this game and the other game and the bird game are like things my brother and I are just kind of messing with in our spare time. And the bird game kind of came around because this game, we got kind of stuck on it and we weren't sure what to do. So we were like, we had another idea we wanted to try for like a little bird letter delivery game. So we kind of started messing with that, which is like mechanic, like not mechanically, but like systems-y, pretty similar to this. Like the engine was the same, and like the art style is pretty similar. But yeah, then we had some more ideas for this that we wanted to try. So now we're just doing this again until I guess we get bored of it. But yeah, I think the ideas for this game are a lot simpler now, so I'm hoping it'll help make this game actually get finished, and then maybe we'll revisit the bird game again. Oh yeah, I can try to. I wonder if I can like. I wonder if there's a way to like make the keyboard sounds like not as intense. We'll see. I'm using SDL2. Yeah. Is this some sort of Metroidvania? Yeah, it's kind of. Oh yeah, I don't have any any commands right now. That'd actually be useful. It's a good idea. I should add some of those for like what this is. But yeah, it's using you can actually the source code for the engine part of this game is on GitHub, and it's in the video there. You can see it, and it's kind of like it's just using SDL2 and DirectX on Windows and OpenGL on other platforms right now. Although I think I'll replace all that stuff once SDL2 is finished the like rendering rewrite. I'll probably start using SDL2's renderer as well. Yeah, this game is more of a kind of like a little combat platformer thing, kind of Metroidvania-y, although originally it was more Metroidvania-y, but we're switching. So one of the things to try to keep the scope down in this game, because part of the reason we couldn't really make progress on this is it started getting too big, and the scope was like too big for a side project. This is something we work on our weekends for fun when we're like, not doing other stuff. So the new idea just happened again. What the hell? Okay, I need to figure out what that's about. Oh, okay, I can do it pretty consistently. It's like when I hit the wall, and then that is really weird. I think it's when I jump really late. Okay, there we go. Oh, I flew at the... What the fuck? Okay, well, I'll take a look at that in a second. Oh, hey, Randy. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, so the plan for this game is more to like simplify the scope way down. So instead of having a sprawling map, it's going to be more like Mega Man levels. So there's like, I'll show you the train station. So there's like a metro line, and this is kind of like the map select. So there's going to be like characters and NPCs here, and like little like I think shops and stuff. And then there's like you select what stop you want to go to, which are the levels. And then that's kind of the. Oh wow, there's a bug with this. Okay, lots of bugs. And then these are like the kind of individual levels, and then each individual level has a single power-up in it that you use. So this one, what the? Wow, there's so many weird bugs happening right now. Those are supposed to come, like they did not. To look into this, what is going on? I might have broken that. Like that train was supposed to come way further, so I think I might have broken the. Might have broken the coroutine thing last night. It feels like I just broke that somehow. Yeah, that's really weird. It's supposed to come to like that train's supposed to be over there. So I have to look at that. I might have broken the coroutine thing. I was messing with it, and maybe I just like destroyed something. But anyways, yeah. So like more Mega Man like levels. That are shorter and kind of like try to keep the scope down in that way, where it's more like linear levels you're playing through instead of like a sprawling map, which we were having trouble like figuring out progression, and like the scope of it started getting way too big. So this is a way to like cut down. Yeah, I'm reading Asprite directly still. It just parses them. I have a little Asprite parser that's actually kind of outdated because Asprite added some new features. So my Asprite file actually does not. My Asprite parser does not actually handle like some of the new stuff, like the tiles, which I should update it and add some of that stuff, make it more complete. What is STL changing with rendering? Oh, so they're adding like actual. So right now STL2 has like a 2D renderer you can use, which internally I think uses like OpenGL or a software renderer or something, depending on the platform. But they're adding a full like 3D GPU rendering library that will internally use whatever platform's render is best. So it'll have support for like Metal, DirectX 12, Vulkan. So in the future, I think I'm just gonna, if that pans out and gets finished and stuff, which it should be because it got an Epic grant to develop for. So when that's kind of, you know, more solid, I think I'm going to start using that for my rendering, because then everything I use is just STL2. It's just STL2 for the windowing, the input, the rendering. I'm pretty excited for that. But it's still pretty early. I think they have quite a ways to go. Do you keep power-ups going into the other levels? So the current thought is just like each level just has a single power-up. So you have the power-up for that level. Maybe if the game actually gets finished and pans out, then we'll do some kind of mode where you could use other power-ups at other levels. But one of the limitations I liked the idea of to keep the scope small was designing, you know, levels for a single power-up. Because as soon as you get into this, like, especially when the power-ups, I really want power-ups that feel like do a lot of things and feel mechanically like interesting in terms of like the scope that they have. Like the grappling hook can do all this kind of stuff. But then in like a Metroidvania open space, it becomes a lot harder to like design interesting stuff if you can just do whatever. So to keep the scope small, I think I want to at least start with just designing single levels for a single power-up. So this level, like the Skyloft thing with like concrete towers, that use the grappling hook and the design spaces around that. And then maybe in the future, if it feels cool, looking at allowing you to bring other power-ups in other places. But that's the current plan. Am I using ABB? No, I'm actually using separating axis theorem. Yeah, so I can open it up again here. Where was I? I was in here. So it's using separating axis theorem for the collisions, and that, yeah, just push outs. So that's basically it. It's not super complicated. It's a little bit weird. It's pretty finicky because it's not using like a full proper physics engine. So all the stuff with like, you know, these blocks pushing other blocks, like it gets a little bit nasty because it has to figure out like, oh, it has to recursively find objects and like pull them around and stuff. So it's not as like smart as an actual like box 2D or something. But for my use cases, it's pretty small and it's pretty simple and it works for this kind of stuff. And this is all I really want it for. So I just recoded it last night actually. So it's a lot simpler than it was. But yeah, just separating axis theorem and push-outs. So whenever objects overlap, they push out of each other. And the player, like, I had to do some like ordering. So like it pushes out of dynamic objects first and then static objects after. So that way, like, you know, when I do this kind of thing, it prioritizes like the static geometry over dynamic geometry. So that way I don't pop out of the level and weird stuff like that. But yeah, separating axis theorem. Let me see. Did you not like Sokol? Wondering. Oh no, Sokol is really cool. The main reason that I want, yeah, like Randy said, like the main reason is that I really wanted to learn that stuff in general. Like I wanted to understand how GPU rendering code worked, like how most APIs worked, and a good way to do that was just make my own. So I wrote my own OpenGL ones, then I wrote my own DirectX 11 ones, and I mean, actually, if I really wanted to learn more now, I should probably write like DirectX 12 or Vulkan ones or Metal ones, because that's kind of where those APIs are kind of more modern practices. But I haven't actually spent time learning those ones yet. But yeah, it's kind of a learning experience. It's like, why do I write my own physics instead of Box2D, or why do I do any of this stuff? It's a fun learning experience, and I enjoy it. It's like the part of why I like coding, I guess. But then, yeah, in terms of using STL2 in the future, I think I could switch to something like Sokol, and I really like Sokol. I think it's a great library. It's awesome. I've used it. It's really nice. But my main reason for STL2 is just that it's kind of consolidated in one library that is Very well supported across all platforms that I want to use, and even consoles most of the time. And so I can even assume that like with SDL2, there's probably going to be like a Nintendo Switch GPU renderer and like a PS5 GPU renderer and stuff in the future. And I just like the consolidation of that, I guess. But we'll see. Like, yeah, I'm not against like using BGFX or SOCL or something. I think they're really cool. But the main purpose originally was that I just wanted to write my own to learn. How hard was it making an editor for the game? Actually, not too bad. I mean, okay, one thing is like, I guess I should prefix everything I say when I say not too bad. Is like I've been writing editors and game stuff for like 15 plus years. So the first time I wrote an editor for a game was like, I don't know, more than 10 years ago. So I've gotten kind of used to the process, especially for 2D games. And this uses like a Dear IM GUI for the windowing stuff. So that's a lot simpler. So I'm not writing my own like drop downs and like text fields and stuff. I have done that before, and it's time consuming. It's not super fun, depending on what you're into. But yeah, so that simplifies a lot of it. And then after that, it's just like the code for like this window is not really any more complicated than the code for the actual game, right? It's drawing objects, and it uses the mouse cursor to check for overlaps. So I really enjoy that stuff. I have a lot of fun with it, which is why I do it. Like otherwise, if I didn't enjoy that stuff, I'd probably just use Unreal or Unity or GameMaker or anything else. But I have a lot of fun with that stuff, so hence why I'm here. This game is not on Steam yet because it's just kind of a side project for fun. So if it gets to the point where it turns into an actual finished game, then I'll definitely put it on Steam. Am I using that C script autotiler? Yeah, I can show you the autotiler. It was so basically the reason I wanted that little C script was to find all the cases I needed for a switch statement, because basically the autotiler is using like a 3x3 grid as a mask. So then each 3x3, like each cell in the 3x3 grid is like a bit. So that makes it like 8 bits because the center one doesn't matter. So you have 3, like 2, and then 3 again. So it's 8 bits. And that's my mask. So then I was trying to find all the cases, and I didn't want to think about how to do that smartly. So instead I was just like, I'm just going to write a little script to make all my switch cases. And it actually is auto-tiling live every frame. I'm not like, it's kind of lazy, but it's not like baking the auto-tiling. It's just running through it every frame, which is like a bit expensive. But for this, like, I even wrote a comment. Look. I don't care. We're auto-tiling every frame. So here's like if the tile is solid, this is me creating the mask. So I look at the tile. So if we're a solid tile, I look at the tiles around us and add it to a mask, which is 8 bits, which is a U8. So I'm shifting each one. So like the top left tile is shifted like the leftmost bit, and then across. And then I have the actual, then I pass that mask to my terrain thingy, which here's all the cases, which is ugly looking, and I could probably write this in a nicer way, but it actually kind of makes sense. So like, if I split this, it's hard to read in this context a little bit, but these are binary values, hence the 0b. So in C++, you can do like 0x for hex, or you can just do a number, or you can do 0b for binary, which is kind of cool. So for example, this single tile is like a standalone tile. So if I open Asprite, actually, I'm just gonna move it open in case I have XOK stuff open in Asprite. You find tiles here. I'll bring Asprite back. That's throwing tiles, terrain, subway. So a single tile in this case is this one. This is the single tile. So it's just saying like if there's no tiles around it, use the single tile. Or if like vertical top is this tile, so it's actually kind of larger. It's like this tile, and vertical top is like, it's a little bit hard to read. But if I turn this into more of a grid, if this value is like, and then X is like where we are. So you can see vertical top is like zeros across the top, and then I'm like horizontal left. Whoops! Look, this is vertical top. So it's like zeros across the top, and then left and right are 0, and then bottom left is nothing, and 1 is filled. So that's the mask for vertical top. So if this is true, then it's vertical top. And there's actually a bit more code in here where I discard certain tiles. So like the corner tiles, like these corners actually get turned to 0 if the cardinals are also 0, which simplifies the map a lot. So I'm not accounting for all the cases. If I accounted for all the cases, there'd be like, well, I guess 256, right? Because it's 8 bits. So I'm not actually accounting for all I'm only accounting for like, I don't know, 30 cases or something. So, yeah. Yeah, yeah. 8 directions in a grid and 8 bits in a byte is very convenient. Very nice. How long am I working on this? It's kind of hard to say because I started a long time ago. Actually, this game was originally in C#, and then I switched to C++, and then just because I wanted to learn C++ mostly. And then like we kind of stopped. We worked on this game for a while, and then I stopped working on it completely at the start of this year, like in January. What the fuck? Why is that? Oh, I know why that's happening. I broke my physics slightly last night. I know what's going on. Yeah, so I haven't worked on this all year until like literally 2 weeks ago, and it's my side project. So I guess like I started I drew this character sprite like almost 3 years ago or something, but then I haven't really worked on it full time, well, ever. And then I didn't work on it for like a year and stuff. So yeah, this wall clip is a little bit. There definitely will be wall clips in this game because of how collisions work. Like you can definitely wall clip, because sometimes the push out just like. You can get yourself in a scenario where it's just not gonna succeed, I think. But this is a little bit too. That's a little bit too easy, I think. I need my wall clips to be at least a bit of a challenge. Yeah, I think I just need to actually make my sweep test code is like this. My sweep test is doing too big of a sweep, or the steps are too big in the sweep. I'm just gonna change that really quick. Here, I have my sweep test step. I'm just gonna divide by 3, which is kind of ugly, but it should. I actually don't know why dividing by 2 there doesn't work. I'm just doing divide by 3. Like I'm doing half a hitbox width. So for some reason, half a hitbox width, like that should keep me from going over and popping into the wall, but for some reason it's not. So, anyways, yeah. That's just probably fixed now. Am I a self-taught programmer? Yeah, I'm self-taught. I started programming as a kid, like when I was 12 or 13 in Game Maker, and then I learned ActionScript, and then I learned what did I learn after ActionScript? I guess like C# and then C++, and yeah, it's been fun going. I did a lot of web development in between there. There was like a good like almost 10 years where I did a lot of web development. So JavaScript, PHP for a while before JavaScript kind of took over the server-side stuff. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna work on 2 things. I'm gonna work on a lever. Oh wow, it started snowing outside. It was raining really hard and now it switched to snow. I worked on video game companies for a while. That is how most of our programming started out, and then they started education later on. Just in general programmers. In companies for a while. Oh, okay, cool. That's how most of our programming started out. That makes sense. Yeah, I did do 2 years of computer science at a university, but I dropped out. Because at the time, I'd already been programming for quite a while when I started university, but I thought that was what you should do, and I was able to, so I was like, I guess I'll try this, and I'm not a very good student, honestly. I'm very bad at like classroom settings, I think. Okay, so what I was gonna work on is like I want it to work on like a platform that moves around when you pull a lever. So I think I'm going to start with the lever so you can pull a lever, and then after that I'll work on the platforms. And I want this lever to work so... I boot the game up again. I want the lever to work. I'm going to delete these enemies for now while I work on this. They're kind of away. I want this lever so you can either pull it with a grappling hook. So if it's far away from you, you could like grapple it. But I don't want it to also be able to be slashed, I think. So like if it's on a wall here, you could slash it. And yeah, I want to put it on either floors or walls. So I think I'm just going to do like an old school kind of like, I don't know, it's a simple lever for now. I'm not going to make it super fancy. And then I'll see where it goes from there. My grids are 12 by 12. I actually think I should make this larger and then center, like bottom align it or whatever. Yeah, I'll put it here now. What is the idea of this game? It's going to be, it's just like a action platformer, I guess. And so there's levels you go through, and it has like a hub, so kind of like a Mega Man like level select thing that's more in-game, but anyways, like a level select, and you select the level you want to play, and then you play it. And each level has like power-ups and enemies and stuff. It started off as more of a Metroidvania, but I'm kind of shifting that idea to more of a simpler thing. Bear with me as I do some bad pixel art. Is the game still explored? Or will this be a released game? Oh, will this be a released game or not? If this game gets finished, it'll be released. I'll release it. Proof of concept. Yeah. This is kind of both. I just like it. I enjoy. Yeah, it's both. It's both me exploring stuff, code ideas, and also, I mean, if this game turns into something cool, then I'll release it. Because it's kind of weird if you're pulling this. Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's just kind of it is kind of a proof of concept. But if it turns into a I am making it because I want to also release something. So it's not just for coding practice. It's exploring. Like it was originally to start learning C++, and now it's kind of just that, and also I just like making games. So I hope it turns into something cool. I'm trying to decide if I actually want this to be like a switch like this. It feels kind of weird because if you hit it from the other side, like if you pull it from the other side, it'll like pull the other way. But maybe that's just acceptable. Yeah, Pedro gives me art tips. Definitely. Huh. Why is this like... Oh, you can just have a circle with a... I didn't know you could do that. Oh, interesting. Okay. I'm trying to decide what I want to do for this. Maybe I'll just not worry about it for now. I'll just live with this. And then I'll revisit it later. So I actually want to get to the coding of it. How's monogame for game dev? I tried it out. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I like monogame. I actually haven't used monogame specifically a lot, but I've used XNA, which monogame is built off or based on, and then I used FNA a lot. And yeah, I like it. Monogame I think is cool because it has. I mean, it's trying to kind of be like it's trying to, you know, port XNA games, but also be kind of an ongoing, updated, like new API and stuff like that, which is cool. Whereas FNA is more just trying to keep the keep the portability of original XNA games alive. But yeah, I definitely like it. I think a lot of my coding practices are probably inspired by the XNA era of game development. It's like how all my rendering works and stuff like that is pretty inspired by it, for sure. Okay, I'm gonna add a new actor. I'm just gonna steal code from, I don't know, Vault or whatever. You just want a template to start with? I'm gonna delete all this stuff. Actually, I can leave some of it, because a lot of it's kind of need. Sprite, I want a sprite. I don't need this. This should be lever. Oh, I made a new macro for this. I don't need that part. Timer, I don't need. Well, actually, I might need timer, but we'll come back to it. Mover doesn't need to exist. Collider, I don't think we need a collider. Do we need a collider? Oh, I guess I do, because you can get hit. Body, yeah, it has a body. Bodies are like things that can be hit. And then it needs a neutral collider, so your sword will hit it. Let's see, okay. Objects, I call this lever. I think I need that. I had idle animation. Depth, I don't know. I need to like standardize depth. My depths are just random numbers, but that's like that's the sorting order of the sprites, and I'm just randomly assigning values right now. But that's not too bad. So lever. It doesn't need facing, but I do want. This should be lever. Is this origin or offset? I think I just want 6 by 12, so it's bottom aligned. I think that's what I want, and this should be create a lever. So this is my like kind of factory that like actually creates this object. So this is a component, and then so this like factory, basically, you know, when I ask it to create a like not a vault door but a lever, it like spawns an entity and creates this component on it, and then calls a init and passes any like JSON values from the map into it. So it's basically like a simple factory implementation, which means that I need to actually add this to my actors list here, so I can spawn it. And this add is the macro, but it just factories push back that factory. Seems like everyone's moving asset under co-host. Yeah. I mean, I want to explore different options for sure. I don't see Twitter like immediate. Like I guess we'll see. Actually, he fired half the people, so I was gonna say I don't see it like immediately exploding, but firing half the people seems kind of intense. So I guess we'll actually see. But yeah, I mean, I think it's good to just explore options, not be stuck with one thing if it slowly gets worse. I think I'll still exist on Twitter for the foreseeable future, maybe just less active. But we'll see. I don't really have a good other place to go to. Like co-host and Messenger was really cool. I like co-host quite a bit actually, but it's not really a Twitter replacement. It's just like kind of micro-blogging, which is really nice, but also not a one-to-one like replacement. Okay, I'm just gonna see if I can actually create this or not. I don't need a facing value. I should be able to place this though. Unless I did something wrong. Oh, whoops. It's like negative. I'll just make this the whole size of it. What? Oh. Yeah, okay. So I can hit it because it has a collider. But I want to also be able to place these on the walls. So I'm going to do some... I mean, he's probably losing $4 million a day because he tweeted a bunch of crazy bullshit. And then a bunch of advertisers dropped out. I want to rotate this to be... I want to steal this rotation code, so I'm going to like really haphazardly just search for a wall and rotate towards it. So yeah, this is basically just like, I'm stealing this from my Bramble code, but my Bramble does the same thing, where just like, it searches for a wall in each direction and then rotates. Which is wrong. Oh, is it? What is it doing? Oh, it's rotating based on the bottom. Yeah, I definitely think so too. I think he... yeah. I think he's a lot... Yeah. I think that's exactly what happened. I don't think there's any world in which he thought he was actually going to end up there. I need to change my origin point of this object if I want to rotate it so that it actually... Yeah, I need to put my origin point here. Whoops. So that means I need to go up by half by 6, so 30. Is that... what the... I don't see the pivot point anymore. In theory, it's here. I'll assume that it's there. I don't see it. Oh, it is there. I just can't visibly see it at all. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna hit the switch and then the platform, it's gonna move platforms around. So it, like when you hit the switch, like, or pull the switch with your grappling hook, it's gonna move platforms on some kind of rail, sort of. It'll all make sense soon. I think, hopefully. And then I need to change it to 6. So I'm center aligning it right now so I can rotate it and have it be rotated nicely, which means that these old ones got kind of messed up. I'm kind of messing with my origin points right now, though. It's kind of hacky. But yeah, okay, there we go. So now they're rotated nicely. I don't like how they look at all, but we will come back to that. They're good enough for now. Okay, so I want to add a function to this called like pull, and then I want to store my sprite, no, my animator, and assign sprite to it. So then when I get pulled, I will say sprite play pull. And then like that. And then when the collider, when our bodies hit, body hit? Is there like a... I should have a callback for this, I feel like, on blocked. I guess I could do... Yeah, I said it's with shielding, which means it never gets hurt, which is kind of correct because you can't really hurt a lever, so I guess unblocked is fine. I don't know what these parameters need to take, though. I wish that, like... What are component events? This is just a function. I don't know why I did that. Like that. Why not just using std function? Oh, whatever. It's fine. It's cool. Body graph, attack graph. So I wish that when I started writing these kind of things, it would tell me... Oh, it kind of does. Body graph, attack graph. All I want to do is say that it should get pulled. So get lever pull. So there we go. This is C++, and the framework is just my own thing. So it's using SDL2 for the window management and input and stuff, and then my own code for all the other stuff. So the actual game and the actual engine and rendering code is all my own stuff. But SDL2 is kind of the thing that like hosts the game, I guess, like makes it actually run in a window and gives me a rendering context. Okay, so now I can be hit. So what I want to do next is I want to add a field. So I have fields so you can reference other objects. Does SDL do your audio mixing? It can. It does. There is like an SDL audio thing. Right now I don't have audio set up in it. I was using like for my more like like professional games and stuff. I use Fmod, which I do have set up here. I don't. Yeah, Fmod's really nice for like audio designers and stuff and people actually making the sounds. I have problems with Fmod in that like it's not an open source thing. It's a proprietary closed source thing. But yeah, my brother wanted to learn it and we wanted to mess around with it. So I am using Fmod for this project right now. And it's the only like closed source thing that I'm actually using. So we'll see. Yeah. There's one that I saw recently looked really cool called So Loud, which is like an open source audio thing, which looked really nice. So I might try that too. I'm just gonna call this like, I guess I'll just call this platform for now. I just want like a object that moves. And I'm gonna steal. No, I'm not gonna steal this code. I'm just gonna copy the code from lever, even though it's gonna be very different. But this is the starting point. I feel like this should be called platform because there's gonna be a lot of platforms in the game in theory, and this is just gonna be one of them. But we'll start here. Yeah, So Loud looked really cool. I liked what I saw about it. So I'll make a platform. The origin of this one's going to be 0, 0. But I do want it to be resizable, and I think I can do set field. Can't remember how to make things resizable. How did I do that? What else is resizable? There's scenery. That's invisible walls. These are resizable. Okay, I just need to give them a width and a height. So I just add a width and a height field and then resizable. So that's good. And then this should be creating a platform. Lever platform. Does this say that somewhere? Hopefully. Oh yeah, lever platform. I see what you're saying. Yeah, that actually makes sense. Maybe I'll just call it that for now. Because it is actually going to only move if it's told to move, so. Yeah, I took a glance at it, and I saw like the SDL2 implementation was like a single file, and I didn't understand how it was actually hooking up at all. But I should take a look at it again, unless it actually is that simple. It's pretty wild. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, Benji. I hope I keep streaming more often. It's fun. I enjoy it, so I'd like to keep doing it like once a week if I can. Okay, rename this lever platform. And then I think I have a field type. So I should have a field type to reference other actors. So I want this lever to point to which platforms it's going to move. So that's instances. So if I go to my lever and I say add field, I'm just going to do this because I don't know the constructor arguments. Name will be platforms, field type, field type instances. Default doesn't make any sense. 0, list is true. Okay, so we'll try this. So basically instances, in this case, I already coded this in the map editor, is like map references. So I can click on this and say add a reference to like that, or like add a reference to this door, which, yeah, it doesn't, I mean, referencing these things doesn't make a lot of sense, but in principle, this should work, hopefully. So now I just need to add the platforms. There's a callback where it requests the samples. I think that's what it... Okay, that makes sense, actually. I didn't realize it was that. I don't know anything about audio stuff, so I don't... Yeah, I have no idea what it needs to actually hook up audio stuff at all, so if that's all it needs, that's really cool. Am I using scene graph? I don't know what scene graph is. That sounds familiar. 26 megabytes. Is that what it says? I don't know. Huh. Oh wait, no, it's 126. According to Visual Studio. I think I had it cut off. I think I had it hidden from you. I'm loading a single image. I actually don't know where all that 128 is coming from. Actually, no, I'm loading 2 images. I'm loading there's like this font, which is an actual like true type font or whatever for the editor, so that's probably kind of large. And the game is a single atlas. I can just output the game so you can see it. That's kind of fun. Where's my assets? And it's actually packing the atlas every single time I launch the game, but the game's small enough that it doesn't matter yet. Let me see if I can pack the atlas somewhere here. Right here I can do it. No, not there. Right here I can do it. Oh, it does it. I already saved it out as an example. I was working on this stuff recently. Because yeah, I find it kind of fun to look at the... Where did it put it? I actually don't know where to save that file. Saved it somewhere in here, like 64 debug. Nope, that's all random. Oh, I'm in the wrong folder. Test.png. Yeah. Yeah, this is all the game art so far. This is a terrible way to look at it. And honestly, almost none of this is used right now because this is like all the art from like the first iteration of this game is still in here, so tons of it is not used. This giant like fog texture is kind of weird to have in this atlas. Honestly, it probably shouldn't be. Yeah, it's basically pre-baked noise. I should probably change how that's set up, but I'm using that specifically in one place right now, which is for the train. I use it when you open the map, so it's actually used as like a, like kind of to make the background. I need to turn off collider so you can actually see it. When I when I interact with this menu, it's like the this noise back here, that kind of fades out the background of the game, is what that is used for. So actually the glyphs for the TTFs are being baked into a different atlas because right now the TTF is only used in the editor, and that's actually using like ImGUI. Dear ImGUI has like a font packing thing, and I assume I'm just using whatever. Like I just tell them this is the font I want, and then they pack it themselves. So they're turning it into their own last atlas, and that's being used. So there's a few, I guess there are a few textures. I do load, actually for like the text in game, that's using like a pixel art font, and that is being packed into a separate atlas. So at some point I would like to merge that so it actually packs the pixel art fonts into the game atlas, so then I just have a single texture. Because honestly, like this game is going to be, like the pixel art's tiny in this game. It's like 12 by 12 tiles. So I can pack the entirety of this game into a single texture because most modern GPUs handle like 16K textures. So I don't know how many like tiles 16K by 16K 12 tiles are, but it's a lot of tiles. So there's never going to be any problem with this game being a single texture, like ever. Oh hey, I'm doing pretty good. The music is this right now. It's like a stream safe music, and they made a bunch of different stuff for it. And I like it. It's really chill. It sets a good mood. Am I using the STB libs? Yeah, I am. I'm using STB image for image loading. How do you do shaders in this framework? My shaders are kind of haphazard right now, so I have to actually custom code them for each platform. So I have a GL. This game only uses a single shader. Actually, it uses two, but mostly it uses one. It uses one for like default rendering, which I have baked into my actual engine, and then I have this one with like my palette shader, and I just had to write it twice. So it's just implemented twice here. Excuse me. So yeah. Does this game run on the web? Yeah, it does. I haven't done it recently, but using mscripten, it does run on the web. It's a pretty light game, so it runs fairly smoothly. There's probably stuff I'd have to like clean up and optimize a little bit, and probably some various bugs, but yeah, it does run. When I tested it a while ago. Okay, this platform, I'm just gonna make this platform actually use my invisible wall sprite for now, so I can just see. I don't want to sprite, make a custom sprite yet. And then when we initialize this, we're gonna just, actually I think I'm just gonna draw, I'll just add a really ugly, wait, this thing can just draw, can it? I think all my components just like a render function. So I just want to store my size. I don't know why I put that there. I need my entity position, I guess. Okay, this should at least just draw a platform for now. I'll figure out the logistics of that, what that should actually look like later. I just want to get this working. Yeah, mscripten is very cool. I'd love to play around with it some more. It would be really fun to make just an actual, just try making a small web game just in it in C++. That sounds really fun to me. I mean, this could also just be that, I guess, but it's not right now. I'm gonna rename this file to lever platform. That should be happy now. I think you're just lying still. I think my code for this did not have an yeah. Thanks. Yeah, it's just it's a very tiny JSON library I wrote. There's probably way better ones on GitHub that are more complete and better, but this is just a tiny one I did. I built a few games with it, not too hard. Unfortunately, no UDP packets or threads. Oh, or some yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, let me go back to or controller. Wait, really? Do controllers not work? That'd be kind of disappointing. Oh, I see, yeah. Okay, there's my platform. Now I want this platform to move somewhere, so I'm going to add a I don't know, I just call this 2. I don't really know what to call it. Field type. Wait, is that what it's called? Yeah, okay. So then from is going to be our entity position when we spawn, and 2 is going to be from plus to yeah, like this, I think. That should be fine. Yeah, I can show the actor macro. So the actor macro is actually just like all my actors are just a single component. So what happens is, I'll show the component one in a second too, but like what happens is, basically the way I've set up this engine is like there's entities, there's components, and there's a world, which is the thing that holds that stuff. Entities don't do anything except hold. They do a little bit. They don't do anything except hold a list of components and a transform. Because in this game, I was like everything needs to transform. Entities to get a transform. A lot of engines do it where like you have to add a transform component, which makes sense if you're just like for certain scoped games and things that like need way more complicated stuff. It makes sense. This game is like everything needs to transform, so entities have transform and a list of components. So the way I'm setting this up is like usually there's a single actor component that is kind of the manager for the entity, and it kind of links together all the components and does whatever it wants to do. And then there's a bunch of other components like body and attacker and hitbox and mover and whatever else, like animator and stuff like that actually does the working of the entity. So yeah, an actor is just a component, a single component, and then that component is, yeah, it adds other stuff. And then the component macro in this case is it has a bunch of kind of garbage in here. But basically I need to know, like, the game buckets components by type. So all of the body ones are in a single list, and all of the movers are in a single list, and all of the animators are in a single list. And the way I kind of figure that out is I just have some, whenever I define a component, I added some metadata about it. So when I create a class that is a component, it's actually inheriting a component of its own type, and component of, in this case, it's down here, I think. There's my component class. Component of just has this like little bit of information, so I can get some like runtime information about it, so I can tell what type it is and what name it is, just for like debugging or visualization if I click on it in the editor, which I can't do yet, but I was going to add. And then it has like, there's like component meta, so you can get information about a specific type. And this is not compile time the same. Like it's like incrementing a value here. So every time I run this, it's potentially a different value, but I just need a unique ID for that single runtime, so I can, you know, put it into a bucket and have that bucket like have an integer index. That's basically it. So it has some metadata about the type, and then it just implements the type. So it's not super complicated, but it looks kind of like garbage here. And use component is forward declares a component. So a lot of the time I'll have files that want to like reference a component, but not actually include the header file. So I just have this. Yeah, the game data is all JSON. I can show you like what a map looks like, or what a room looks like. Where's the lofts? This one. Here's the room I was working on just now. So it has, yeah, this is the actual JSON data of that room. So it has like the palette, music stuff, which isn't really implemented right now. I don't remember. Camera X and Y I think is like an offset that is not red right now, but in the first version of this game you could like offset the camera in a room. And then a list of entities and their fields. So that lever platform we just added has like width and height fields, and it's about to have a 2 position field. And then there's the solids, which is like the terrain. And then I have a grid of foreground tiles and a grid of background tiles, which, as you can see, are fairly empty right now. And this could be optimized, but I don't really need to. Yeah, you can actually kind of see the tiles here of this actual level. Like you can kind of see the grid of them, which is fun. If I try to run the game on another platform, yeah, I have a Linux laptop, so I run this. If I'm not working on this at home or whatever, then I run this on Linux all the time. Yeah. Yeah, I do know STB. Yeah, I know single file libraries. They're really great. They're very cool. I haven't I haven't gone through this actual list in a long time, but yeah, I use at least STB, like the image ones for loading and stuff. Okay, I thought that I coded a thing to be able to grab these points, but maybe not. Can I grab this? Okay, I guess I didn't code that. I thought I did, but I guess not. That's kind of annoying. I swore that I added code for this. Okay, I should work on that soon. Yeah, let's just do that, and then this can now reference that. So in theory, when this is hit, it'll make that move, and then it'll slowly go back, which it doesn't do yet. I'm using CMake right now, so this is my CMake file. I'm not a huge fan of CMake, except that it is the most popular one and it works everywhere. So I don't love how it looks, I don't love how it works, but it just works everywhere. So that's where I'm at. Visual Studio 2022 added CMake support. So I don't even have a Visual Studio project open right now. 2022 supports just opening CMake projects. Like you can actually just open, like when you start up Visual Studio, you can just open a CMake project now. Yeah, exactly. I've tried Premake and it's really nice. I do like it. I think it's cool, but it's just the same situation where CMake is just kind of ubiquitous, so it's hard to, I don't know, but yeah. Yeah, C++, I mean, it's just kind of I think that's part of the, like, C++ is like that because it's just existed for so long, so it has kind of a lot of, yeah. Just the history of it is huge, and for 35 years long, so it just has lots of competing stuff, which is cool in some regards. Like, Rust only has cargo, and if you wanted not that, you kind of, well, I guess you just not use cargo, I guess, so, yeah. Yeah, it's hard, yeah, C++ is trying very hard to always be backwards compatible and not mess up anything historically, which is, like, I have a lot of respect for, but it does mean, like, when you do that for a 35-year-old language, you end up with a lot of ugly stuff. Just kind of the trade-off, I guess. Okay, so this is going to be a bit of an experiment here. I don't remember how to actually, like, how this, like, I have this field of platforms now, which works. And actually, this will be fun I should open this again in the map editor, because now you can see I referenced that platform if I saved it. Did I save it? I did not save it. Let me save it. Oh, I did. It's this lever. I'm going to delete this other lever. This lever is referencing this. Wow, these IDs are... I think my ID generator is fucked up. Like, why is this ID so similar to this ID? That's bad. That's bad news. I think my ID generator sucks. I'll work on that later. It's kind of hilarious that these are, like, almost identical. Anyways, these IDs should not be almost identical. My ID code probably is terrible. Or it's probably using, like, time or something for the first bits or something, which means that it just... Anyways. So yeah, this lever is now referencing this platform, but it's not actually referencing it in-game. Like, when I boot the game, all I get is this number. So now I have to actually find that actor when I need it. And I can't find it immediately, I don't think, because by the time when this init function is called, like, this actor isn't necessarily created, I don't think. I'm gonna check that though. Like, can I look this object up immediately, or do I have to, like, delay it? If I have to delay it, it's kind of annoying. Like, what I should do is create all the actors in one pass and then call all their init functions, which I might already do, but I need to look at my map system, which actually loads actors. So when I load a room, load room contents, I create all the entities and I just call actor spawn. This certainly seems like it's... Yeah, this is not instance map date. Yeah, this is not actually doing that. Yeah, Wormsoft, they have to, dealing with like backwards compatibility of a 35-year-old language, we're trying to, trying to clean it up seems like a nightmare to me. That's right, Chevy, this is one of those Nintendos. Yeah, I find like any kind of command line stuff or any kind of like, I don't know, fast building of anything is nicer on Linux almost always for fun. I mean, I haven't used Linux that much, like I've used Windows since I was a kid, and I've only used Linux like recently. But yeah, any kind of command line stuff on Linux, any kind of like development stuff just feels a lot smoother to me. As soon as you're trying to build like cross-platform stuff that isn't like, you know, I guess there's like if you're coding stuff for Windows, only on Windows, then it's pretty smooth, but yeah. Okay, so this is not delaying the create function. It's like, I think this is right here. This is where it create. This is the call the factory create method, which in turn goes through and eventually calls this initialize function. So at that point in time, I can see right now, like it's looping through all the entities and spawning them one after the other. So it's not delaying that at all. So when this lever init is called, I'm not going to know which actors, like I'm not going to be able to look up the actor yet because it hasn't necessarily been created. And I don't really want to fuck with my map system loading code right now. Like, what I should do probably is initialize all these, give them their map instance IDs, and then underneath here, like here, loop through them all again and assign them all. Like actually initialize them. That's like the correct thing to do, but I think I'm just gonna wait. And so I do have an awake method on components already that are kind of similar in that like they'll get called before their first update. But it doesn't mean I need to like copy the values out of here and then either reference them here or not. It's kind of ugly. I have to have like two lists. But I think what I'm actually going to do is not even look them up until I actually pull the lever. So instead I'm just going to have a vector of U32, which is my map instance, like my instance IDs. Let's call this invokes. Or maybe I'll call this platform. I'll call this invokes in case I might want to use this lever for like other objects at some point. So now I'm going to loop through all of the JSON platforms. I don't remember how to do that. I think it's like for auto hit in JSON. What do I call this? Platforms. And then I dot array, not values. Yeah. And then invokes dot back dot get as 32. So now I should have all my instance IDs. I don't have that. I don't have any kind of defer in that regard right now. Yeah, that would be kind of cool, but in the case of this, I don't have it. I don't have anything like that set up. Yeah, that's true. Check what it depends on and do them in that order. That would be interesting. I would have to figure out, like, I guess I know that it has an instance field, and I can look them up like that. That's a cool. I hadn't thought about doing it like that. That's a neat idea. I think for the scope of this, like, or why do I keep saying scope? I think for the case of this stream, I'm not going to do that kind of stuff, but that is a cool idea. I might actually think about that. I like that idea. It simplifies having to delay. One thing that sucks about delaying is then I have to hold all the instance data around and match them with the new, like, right now I'm looping through the room entities, which is like the deserialized version of the room entities, and then I'm creating them with that data, pass that data in. So if I like create them here and then delay the creation, I have to like hold, like, I have to rematch them again, which is kind of ugly. I don't know. So doing it somehow where it actually sorts them by that is a cool idea. Although you have circular dependency problems potentially, so we'll see. Yeah. For now, I'm just gonna do this. I have this invoked. So now when I get pulled, I'm gonna say. Now I have to look this up, and I actually have no idea how to look up actors by instance ID. I feel like because it's like a room instance ID, so I think I just have to loop through. How do I even... I think I have an actor info class? How do I do this? Instance data... Oh, so I have an info, actor info, instance data. I think that's the only thing on actor info is the instance data. Yeah, and a reference to its component, I guess. No, a reference to its actor type. That makes sense. Okay, this is going to be ugly, but there's not that many actors, and this will be fast. So this is the kind of thing that should be cached, probably, but I'm not going to. So I'm just going to say info equals world first actor info. I think that's what I called it. And well, info is on a null pointer, and then info. It's kind of ugly. I really don't like how my actors are a linked list right now, or my components are a linked list right now, and I do not like that. But that's where it's at right now. I don't like having to loop over it like this. It's really ugly. And then if info instance data is it just an instance? That should be, I should call this instance ID or something, but instance is equal to it. Then we do something with this. We break out of here. So yeah, when the lever is pulled, it's looping through like every actor multiple times, but that's the way it goes. It's not going to be slow. Because even if there's like 1,000 actors, it'll be really fast. And there's never going to be 1,000 actors in a room. Probably. But anyways, so now I need to figure out what to do with this, which I guess like, I think I want like a trigger. I don't need to store the results of this right now, but yeah, like if I wanted to optimize this, I would have a better lookup for it that actually like sorts these by the instance ID and then can quickly like binary search them or something and grab them and cache them and give them to you. But yeah, I don't need to actually store the reference ID because all I want to do is now invoke something. Like all I'm doing is telling it to do something. But I think for this I need some kind of way to tell that thing that it should be invoked, and I don't have a way to do that without like I could look up, oh, is this a does this have a platform component, and tell it to do stuff, but I don't like that because then it's very like I don't really have a good way to deal with that. So I'm actually gonna, what's this thing? Oh yeah, I'm gonna add a temporary component over here. It's called trigger. Yeah, I'm just gonna do this for now. Just gonna do this. This is kind of weird, but I think it's actually fine. So if info get trigger and if trigger on invoke trigger on invoke trigger. Yeah, this should make sense. Okay. This is definitely the kind of thing where, like, if you're working on a larger project, doing this kind of lookup might be expensive and bad. But since this game is so small, doing this at runtime like this is like whatever. Okay, where'd my platform go? Okay, you need a trigger now. I actually don't think I need to do auto trigger entity add trigger on invoke is going to equal function, and we're going to basically tell the platform to run. I think for now I'm just going to set a bool on it. I was thinking maybe it would make sense to, like, yeah, I think I'm just going to tell it so that you're invoked. Okay. Do that for now. So now I'll add an update function to this thing. Where once we're invoked, we're gonna lurk towards our 2 positions. So this game is going to be a platformer, kind of like an action platformer. I'll run it again in a second so you can see if you're just joining, and then you'll see what it looks like. Oh, hey, Coolix Knight, I hope you're doing well. So I'm gonna have a float lerp. I think I'm just gonna do this by lerp. Maybe the lerp should be by distance. I'm not sure. So if we're invoked, yeah, I can show it in 1 second. I'm just gonna code this one last thing and then I'll show you. I'm just gonna lerp through linearly for now, and then we're just gonna. Oh, I need a mover. Okay. If I don't have a mover ref, it's gonna not behave properly. So I'm gonna add a mover. Entity. Mover is basically just my like component that handles actually. Actually handles moving objects around and like colliding with things. And this is kinematic, because I want it to be able to go through. It doesn't listen to other solids. Okay, so that's good. So mover is gonna say warp to, or I guess move to back to lerp from by 2 by lerp amount. Start with that. Nice, Chevy. Yeah, you can hang out, and yeah, I have a couch you can hang out and in the background. Yeah, I think in general I like platformers a lot. I haven't gotten bored of them yet. Okay, so this is the lever, that's the platform, it should go there. Should reference it now, so now when I attack it, it should explode. Oh, I didn't know instance data could be null. What is getting in null instance data? That's interesting. Okay, well, something's getting in null instance data. Hey, thank you. Thank you for the good luck. And unnegative, this is kind of what it's looking like. It's like, yeah, it's like a little platformer, and you have a grappling hook for this level, and it's gonna be like a little action game where you fight little enemies and stuff. Yeah, there we go. That's cool. It worked. I found it, and it worked. How long did it take me to make this engine? I find it kind of hard to say like how long exactly, because it was kind of a learning experience. It wasn't my full-time job or thing, and I used a lot of the stuff I learned in this to work on other, like, my full-time work too. So I would say like I started working on this like years ago, but I also haven't worked on it. Like, I stopped working on it for a full year, and I did other things. So hard to kind of say. But it was a while. It was just kind of my learning, like a big learning curve. Yeah. Okay, so now I want to do this. Right now the game, it doesn't really have a name. The temporary name is Loam Tower, or Lonely Tower, or something like that. But it doesn't. That's not going to be the actual final name. That's the development name. I can show you actually what happens, because I just implemented that last night, and it should work, unless it doesn't. But in theory, it should work. Yeah, it worked. So what it does is it hurts you, and then it turns the collision between you and it off until you're out of it. So it can detect the squishing, and then it disables the collision, because I can't... Basically, squishing happens when the collision resolver can't figure out where to put you. It's like, oh, there's two objects, but then I don't know where to go. Like, it could pop you up, but it doesn't know that it can do that without a lot of like searching and stuff. So it just gives up and says you got squished, and then turns off the collision, and then that way you can still, you're not like soft locked, and you can get out. And I think it feels okay. It's weird that I'm behind the platform. Like, I think when it happens you should be in front of it, so it's kind of ugly that you're like behind it. But yeah, you can see that happen here too. So when I pull this, it like squishes me, and since I'm in front of it, it's a little bit nicer. And then once I'm out of it, it's become solid again. And I might do something like, it might be fun to do like a shader effect where it like dithers that object off, kind of, so it's like kind of partially transparent or something with like a pattern could be cool. Well, it's like that while you're in this like sort of weird state where it's not actually solid for you, but it's solid for everything else. So that could be cool. Spire of Solitude. I like that. That's good. Yeah, I like this way too. For this game especially, like like in Celeste, when you got crushed, it just instant killed you because Celeste had no health. But this game, it doesn't. I don't have the HUD working yet, but this game will have a health bar, or like Zelda Hearts or whatever. So I don't want to instant kill you almost ever in this game, because instant death would be too. Like in Celeste, it's fine because the levels are really short, and instant death, you just try the level again. But this game, when you die, you might go back a few rooms. So I don't want to I don't want instant deaths basically ever. This game did, oh, okay, I actually did, let me see if I can open it. I did do a game like this, like literally I was looking at it 10 years ago. me find it. I made a game. Well, actually, there's two games. So one is the grappling hook in Celeste Classic 2 is very similar to the grappling hook here. And then also, I made a game like 10 years ago with the grappling hook, kind of like this, but it was revolved way more around it. Let me find it. See if I can find it here. I had it somewhere. Sorry, bear with me as I search through my stuff. Okay, yeah, this is it. Yeah, this game. I made this game like this is literally 10 years ago. And it has kind of a grappling hook, but it like the world like rotated when you grappled places. So yeah, and I made this in 2 days for Ludum Dare 10 years ago. So that's pretty wild. I'm using my own tile system. Yeah. Hello, PugZW. Yeah, it's my own little tile system. So I can place them like this. It has slopes, slopes are actually slightly broken right now. In certain one is the editor for the most broken. But I need to figure out, there's like some edge cases that are weird. I think it's like if you do, I haven't figured it out exactly, like if you do an underhang like this with a slope, here it like, a wide slope or something, it like looks weird, I don't know. Actually it looks okay there. I feel like there's a scenario where it's like broken. I can't remember what it is. That's broken as fuck. That's very broken, but it's kind of understandably broken, like it doesn't know what to do with the slope. Okay, so now I want this. Whoa, excuse me. I want this. Oh, hey, thanks for the raid. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good day. Hope you had a good stream. Yeah, I want this to now move back. So it goes there, and then it should go back. And then if you hit the switch again, or the lever again, the lever should unset. So I want to set a timer in the lever. I think just like that's fine. And then here we'll say like that. Okay, so that's the first part of being able to pull it. Were you also streaming game dev stuff, or are you streaming other stuff? And it should go back? Wait, did it? I just stopped paying attention. Oh, it did. Okay, cool. Oh, I want to make it so... Wait, why can't you grapple it? Oh, my collider doesn't have a grapple point, or a grappleable mask. So I should be able to grapple it now, too. If I can hit it? Maybe not? What? How do you grapple these things? Type? No, type should not be pullable. Type is... I guess pullable, I don't know. Oh, thank you. My bad. Didn't see that. That's cool. Okay, so, and it should also be not that. I think it's gonna be a small grapple effort. I have this like grapple effort thing, for how long it takes to like when you grapple something to pull it, how long it takes. Oh, hey Carrie. Thanks for the raid. I hope you're having a good time. Hope you had a good stream. Thanks everyone. Hey, I hope you had a good stream. Were you streaming? What were you streaming? Thanks everyone. I guess yeah, for people who are... Oh, nice. Oh, cool, that's awesome. Yeah, for people who are here who don't know me, I'm Noel, and I made Celeste with a lot of people before, like, years ago now, like almost 5 years ago, which is wild. A much younger me made Celeste with friends. And today I'm just working on a side project, so this is not related to our next game, so I'm working with the Celeste team on a new game that is not this. That's my full-time job. This is my weekend project because apparently even though I code full-time, I still want to code more on my weekends, which I don't know what that says about me. But yeah, so this is like a small side project I've been working on, kind of off and on for like forever, but I keep revisiting it with my brother, and we're kind of rebooting it again and trying to make it smaller, so it kind of got out of hand for a side project, and now it's supposed to be like a much smaller thing, so that's where this is at. So this is, I'm currently working on platforms that you can like, or these levers, I'm going to move this down slightly so it's easier to see, but these levers that you can either grapple and it moves these platforms, or you can slash them and moves these platforms, which I'm not done yet, but it's kind of like half finished. Really great pace, small. Oh, nice. Nice, that's awesome. Yeah, today kind of focusing on this grappling hook and trying to get. Yeah, I want more stuff to do with it. So I have some enemies that I was working on a little bit. For like these things, which didn't appear there. Did I see? What the hell? What are you doing? Oh, I have a bug where it's not setting the scale on it. Yeah, I have these enemies. You can grapple them and like attack them. What the f... Why did that move? Oh, the bullet hit it? Oh. That's kind of sweet, actually. That's really funny. Okay. I was like, I thought there was some... My brain broke for a second. I thought me being hurt or something, like, made the platform move, that's some crazy memory bug or something, but no, it was actually fine. Yeah, during nights I'm Batman. In the day I'm also Batman, though. Yeah, indie games and grappling hooks. Thanks. Oh, thanks, Mary. Should the cooldown be on the Switch object? So, kind of. I think the cooldown for the Switch actually isn't really that important in my head. We'll see what happens, but like, in theory, I'm gonna make it so you can hit the Switch as fast as you want. I just want it so that visually it goes back, and probably a small delay so that you can't like keep triggering the platform over and over again. But I'm gonna make the platform move back slowly, so it'll go out to where its target is, and then it's gonna move back. And then if you hit the Switch again, it'll like go back to its target. Is the plan. Yeah, I like the Kevin blocks. I didn't think about having multiple paths. Like Kevin blocks you can hit, and then you can hit them again, and they like kind of stack their motion up forever. This one only has a single path though, is my thought anyways. No, so the grappling hook is just for this one level actually. So different levels have different power-ups. So you always have a little sword. And then depending on the level you're playing, you have a different power-up. So the level for this one But the power up for this level is a grappling hook, and this actually is not the art for this level either. Like this level is going to have, it's going to be kind of like this sky towers, like concrete towers in the sky, and hence the grappling hook I think will be cool for that. It's going to be all cloudy and like you'll be like traversing over bottomless pits and whatever. So I think the grappling hook is going to be cool for that kind of scenario. So that's why I went with grappling hook for this level. But yeah, it won't. Right now, it doesn't look like that at all. Right now, I'm actually using the subway tiles. So the subway tiles are for like kind of more this kind of vibe. But yeah, at some point, I'll actually work on art as well. You're outside my window. I'm 4 stories up, Chevy, so I don't know. I could probably see if I looked over. Thanks. I like my benches too. Level design is Celeste-based, like? Yeah, so actually, originally it was more Metroidvania-y. But it's, yeah, part of the scope change, like this year, when I came back to this project like a year later, was to reduce the scope way down. So the Metroidvania sprawling map thing was getting kind of out of hand. Because this is supposed to just be a project I work on for fun in my spare time, and it was like spiraling so into this bigger thing that neither of us wanted to do. So yeah, so now it's kind of more linear levels, more like Mega Man. So you have kind of a level select, and you go to each level, and they're more like there's going to be not completely linearness to them, but more like a level you're beating with a power up. Okay, I want to make the platforms go back. Yeah, I'm thinking like our thought right now is to make it so that yeah, each level you get a unique kind of power up, like a Mega Man kind of vibe. And Mega Man, you can take them to other levels. I think in this game, you're just going to only have the power up for that level. Like it gives you the power up for the level and you play that level. But we'll see. It's hard to say. Yeah, different palettes per level. So I actually have like I showed this earlier on stream, but I have like this is like the level select. Is the train. So the train is instead of the other palette. And then from the train, you can select like which level you want to play. So it's a bit more like the level select in Mega Man is just like the boss faces, which is cool. But this one is like we have this metro system, which is how you get to different levels. And this is bugged out. I have to look at this after. I don't really feel like doing it on stream, but this is not running properly, so I broke something with it last night, I think. Okay. Sweet, awesome. Have a good night, Carrie. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you had a good stream, and I hope you have a good night with your friends. That sounds sweet. Also, Katut, I missed your message there, but level design for a game, Cyberhook. Oh, cool, okay. That's cool, awesome. I don't know. I could look into updating those again. Yeah. As long as they feel relevant to XOK stuff, which I guess they do, because I mean, I work on XOK stuff, but my stream isn't like XOK specific right now, so. But maybe it would be fun to do anyways. If we ever do an XOK stream, we'll definitely notify there. How does running the game from the editor work? I am using DRM-GUI. DRM-GUI is great. I approve of DRM-GUI. The game is not a separate binary in this case. I'm actually compiling it into the editor. So I can compile the game separately. So I have this runner version, which should have been called standalone. And this just basically is completely commented out. But because I never run it from the not editor right now, but the editor, basically the actual game doesn't know where it's running. All it is told is to update and to render to a buffer. So the game draws to a texture, and then all the editor is doing is telling the game to update and telling it to render. So this is like a kind of monster file, but somewhere in here, like when I hit play, it creates a new game with a certain map, and then it tells the game somewhere in here to update. So when I'm running the game, it tells the game to update, and it's also telling the game to render right here also. So in GUI, I have like a little render port, viewport, and it tells the game to render into that viewport. So basically all the editor is doing, so the game is the class, and then the editor, like this is not the game right now, this is the game, and the editor is just telling it to draw into this like viewport and to update. And then when I stop it, it deletes it. This is actually just normal Visual Studio. I use VS Code a lot, and VS Code's definitely my favorite code editor, but currently I'm using Visual Studio. VS 2022 added support for CMake files, so this is not even usually using a Visual Studio project. I bet internally it is, but it's actually just, you can just open CMake projects in VS 2022 now, and it just can run them. Okay, so I want this to move. It is moving, which is cool, but I now want it to move back, which it's not doing. Can you elaborate on testing tools? I don't use anything specifically besides like the debugging tools in Visual Studio or the debugger in like VS Code or whatever. I guess like yeah, I mean, I use the debugger a lot, so like just normal breakpoints and stuff like that. And then I've used, on Linux, why am I blanking on the name? That memory profiler, like the really good memory profiler I've used on Linux a lot, which is really nice, and I'm completely blanking on this name, but it's really good. Valgrind. That's it, right? Yeah, I use that a bunch. I don't know why I'm having a hard time remembering it, but yeah, I use that, which is really nice, yeah. I hadn't used Valgrind until like honestly like a few months ago, and then I was pretty impressed. Like I was kind of blown away at how like nice it is to just like command line like launch this thing and tell me everything wrong. And then I've used Visual Studio has like a DirectX like profiler that you can run, and you can like snapshot single frames and then look at like the exact like everything that happened in that render frame for DirectX, which is really nice. It shows you like exactly what was in all the buffers, like all the meshes that were created and how they were drawn. So I've used that before too. Yes, Valgrind is, yeah, pretty wild. I was really impressed. So this game runs on Linux, so when I really need to do memory profiling and seeing where stuff is going wrong, which I haven't really had to do very much, but sometimes it's fun to do anyways, and you're like, oh, there's like 12 bytes of memory not being discarded in one place. Valgrind is really cool. Yeah, yeah, run a list just for Valgrind. Honestly, yeah. Okay, I want this to move back. I think I want to store duration, so, duration. It's kind of a weird name for it, but duration is going to be 2 minus from dot length divided by, I want to move like how many tiles per second? 12 is a tile. Divided by like, I don't know, 4 tiles per second? That's really slow. I want it to move like 10 tiles per second. And then we can do this divided by duration. I should make sure the duration is at least some value. So otherwise this will explode. And I should just try this at 1 in case for something bad happens. Okay, I just want to test that. That should make it move out. Oh, I want to make this an ease in out too, I think. Move to ease, cube, in out. Blurb. And that'll make it like, whoop. What OS is my favorite for developing? I think I'm I'm still most familiar with with Windows. Like I grew up using Windows. I've always just written stuff on it. That was cool. But I've gotten more into Linux recently. I'm not streaming on Linux right now just because I don't have my stuff set up. But like this is on my Windows PC. But it depends. It kind of depends on what I'm doing, I guess. Yeah, I like Linux a lot for just like almost any kind of command line stuff ever is just really smooth. So it depends on what I'm doing. I'm just so familiar with Windows because I grew up on it, so it's hard to like shake that. But I really like modern Linux. I feel like this should maybe a cube in. Is that what I want? I think I want it to start slow and speed up and then hit the wall, basically. Actually, I don't know. Maybe cube in out was better. What does cube out look like? I think I want cube in out. And then for going back, so I want a cooldown. I'm actually going to use this weird routine thing that I like a lot that I think for this. Where did I put this? Utils. I wish it would autocomplete. Utils routine. Yeah. I'm gonna use this for this update, so this is basically like a very simple coroutine or finite state machine. That it's internally just a switch statement, but it lets me do like nice timing of things in C++ without actually using C++ 20 coroutines. I'm going to use this for the movement. So we're going to wait RT RT upon invoked. We're going to lerp there. So lerp is going to be like this. Well then, yeah, we'll put this code in here now. Actually, I think we can always move to lerp. It can just always be moving, but most of the time it won't be actually doing anything. So in RT we always move to lerp. And then RT well lerp is smaller 1.0. We're going towards that. And then we're gonna wait, RT wait like 1 second. And then RT well lerp is larger than 0. We'll say lerp goes back to 0. And I want it to go back slower, so go back but like times 0.5. And I'll make constants for these in a bit. But yeah. And then RT once. Then we'll restart. Yeah, restart. Cool. So this is like a simple little coroutine like thing that should make it now go out and then back, unless I didn't code it right, which I did not. What the hell? Okay, whoa. Did I miss a... I assume there's something wrong in here that I'm not seeing. Yeah, what am I not seeing here? Open, close, open, close, open, close. And, oh, do I just need to put these on of them? Yeah, I don't know if I need to have a... Not sure if I need one. Maybe I do. Maybe I messed up. I might have... So I was messing with this last night because I was fixing some compile warnings that I had. Maybe that is not supposed to have one. Okay, wait a sec. Oh, well, lerp. Oh, you're right. It is. This is something to do with that, right? This is the macro problem. I think I must have broken something last night. That error is just a lie. Let me just see here. I think I probably broke something last night. Let me undo this change that I did, which was like definitely part of the problem. Let me undo this change that I did. Yeah, like, okay, time to just cut out code and see what I'm doing wrong here. Routine, undeclared identifier. Oh, I don't, whoops. Okay, is that the only problem and it just was exploding in the most... No, I'm still messing up somehow. Okay. Just gonna eliminate stuff until I for some reason my eye cannot see it. Okay, interesting. Yeah, so I just replaced this code hasn't been tested a lot since it was rewritten to be cleaner, and it's a little bit hard to parse just because it's a macro thing. But so I might come back to this. I don't really feel like debugging this on stream, but I think there's just an error here with like I suspect there's just an error in terms of this stuff. No, that break looks correct. Oh, maybe this if condition, maybe that shouldn't be there. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I'm gonna debug this thing later. Oh, that one's okay. That one's legit. Actually, okay, I think I just solved it. Yeah, okay. There's the typo there. Oh, it's invoked. Oh, it's not turning invoked off. Okay, upon invoked, false. So now. And I should be able to hit it halfway through, and that won't work yet. So now when I hit it again, why is this here? Oh, because I copy and pasted the lever code. Okay, so invoked alert, that's all needs to be there. But I think I'll add a. I really like them. Yeah, I had a bug with them, but my friend Randy's recoded them, and we haven't tested them much since they were recoded. So I think there's just a small typo in them, but yeah, I like it a lot for this very simple like state control kind of stuff. It's just internally it's just a switch statement, so it looks really fancy, but it's actually just a switch statement, and it just keeps things really nice. So. It's not even a thread. It's just a switch statement. So internally, actually, what it looks like is kind of like it was a little bit hard to see with the macros, but we have some index, and then it's like case 0, do this stuff. Case 1, do this stuff. Case 2, do this stuff. And then when it's like an upon, it's basically saying like normally all these ones say they set at the 1, at is now equal to 2. I mean, obviously there's breaks and stuff here, so break or whatever. And then if there's a upon, it's saying like, you know, if not, or like once this thing is invoked, you know, then we go to the next one or whatever. So then we set the variable to move next. Or while we say, you know, we say if not that condition, so you know, in inverse of that condition, then we go to the next. So yeah, that's basically it. So it's basically just a switch statement. Yeah, I need to. This one I think I do. Yeah, this one I do because that's like an actual statement, which is nice. These ones you don't put semicolons on them. Yeah, you have to store the state because it's not actually a coroutine in this case. C++ 20 coroutines, like they actually create memory for the coroutine and store the stack like state in like memory that's allocated for it. But this, because it's basically just, it's literally a switch statement, there is no state. But I really like it for like these really simple use cases because one, it doesn't allocate anything. There is no memory involved. It's just a switch statement. It's really fast because it's a switch statement. So that's just a, you know, a quick lookup into whatever function you should be calling. And then it's really convenient for these quick little like, you know, one-off like behavioral things. And then right here, I want to say nav. I think it's nav next. I can't remember. Yeah, routine. I wonder what I think I want to do. Actually, I can just, I don't have to do it like this. It might be cool to have a, just snap back to the beginning. Oh, that's really cute. That's awesome. Yeah, I like navnext. Navnext is really good. I was using it somewhere else, and it's really nice. But in this case, because I'd have to do like I guess I could name, like I have a name like RT table start, and then I could say nav next start, and this would be the same thing, and it looks a little bit cleaner. So now if I hit the switch like halfway, it will do nothing. How come? Because it should jump the routine to here. Yeah, routine add. That makes sense, that's fine. I wonder if this should also set wait elapsed to 0. Not that it matters. Yeah, I'm gonna set routine. But this should still be fine. I don't know why it's not restarting it actually. Oops, I didn't stop running it. Like, I should now be able to hit it when it starts playing back. Yeah, so what? Oh, did I not? I'm not calling invoked. I'm stupid. That function is not even being called. I should make all these variables private also if I was actually writing this nicely, but this is fine. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Cool. Okay. Because now I could do stuff where it's like, you know, kind of in the wall. And I want to be able to grab these. I don't like that I can't do that. because of this scenario. Or I don't. Oh, 120. Obviously, it's 12 by 12 tiles. Yeah, that's cool. But now I could also do stuff like this. Let me see here. How wide is this? Negative 42. But I'll do slightly less, I'll do negative 44, so it sticks out a bit. Positive 40. And this could, in theory, reference both these. Yeah. That's kind of cool. And I could also get crushed by them. Yeah. New here, want to ask, how do you set up the environment for game dev in C++? So this one is I'm using CMake. So CMake describes the project. And then I'm using SDL2 for like rendering, or grabbing the windows and stuff, or creating the window rather, and getting input and everything. And then my own stuff for like actual rendering. So like Visual Studio supports CMake files now, so this is just a CMake project that's open in Visual Studio. I assume internally they're like on the fly creating a Visual Studio project and hiding it, but yeah, it opens just CMake files. So this is it, and I'm grabbing STL2 from the internet, the World Wide Web, and it's grabbing. This is not actually latest. Actually, it might be latest. They might have released 2.26, I can't remember. But yeah, it's grabbing STL2 and then compiling with it. And then my actual game has a CMake file too, which is like all the stuff in it. Should not need an H file. You can see when I saved this file, it just decided to regenerate the CMake project. So yeah, just CMake. It could be done, like if I was only working on Windows, then I could just use a Visual Studio project file. But I like working on Linux sometimes. So hence, this is not just on, hence the CMake. I don't like that you snapped there's, ground snapping is turned on for the player, which means that like, it's nice for, let me see if there's a situation that is obvious here. I don't think there is, I have to add some slopes. I can just add them. I'm just gonna delete these for a second. This is kind of my test room anyways. I have like ground snapping on, so like when you run over these ledges like this, you don't pop off and like you stay on the ground, which I like a lot. But then it's also like kind of when you jump right here, there's like a case where it feels like kind of is canceling your, well, there it wasn't happening, but there's a few cases where I jumped up here and it felt like I was kind of snapping like prematurely, which I might want to change. Yeah, same with Mac. Like Mac, Linux, and Windows, like you want to compile C++ stuff cross-platform, CMake is just the easiest. Like, I wouldn't say CMake is easy, unfortunately, but it's the most like accessible, direct way to just do it across platforms. Yeah. Yeah, so for like rendering and stuff in C++, like, well, I would look at SDL2 honestly, or SDL2 or GLFW or SFML, and try making stuff in that, because that kind of, it's a bit annoying if you want to make cross-platform stuff like from scratch in C++. Like you have to deal with opening Windows and all the different OSs and stuff like that. It's not worth it, in my opinion, unless you just want to learn it for fun. But yeah, if you use something like SDL2 to open Windows, and then it'll give you a rendering context, and from there you can use like their built-in 2D renderer, or you can, you know, find another, or like a rendering library like SoCal or BGFX or something, to render stuff. And honestly, actually, if you just want to try making like stuff in C++, and just drawing stuff to a screen, Raylib is probably a really good option, or SoCal. And they have like rendering API stuff built in. I think Raylib just uses OpenGL, and SoCal has like different backends depending on the platform. But Raylib is more just like, here's a window, now draw textures to it, whereas SoCal is more like, here's a rendering API that's 3D, and you need to like create meshes or create vertex buffers and stuff. The easiest cross-platform single solution is SDL2 plus BGFX. I think that's true. Yeah, if you want to do more complex, like if you want to make a full like game engine-y thing, those are a really good choice. Raylib is really good for like quickly like, I need textures on the screen and I want to draw them now. It's just like there's no setup code. It's just, yeah, you go for it. But if you want to get into more complicated rendering, then using something like that is SoCal or BGFX is, they have full rendering APIs. Okay, this is cool. And I think I can, in theory, I could have multiple switches and they would do the same thing. Like you could have a few switches that also open. I don't need to do that though. Okay. I just saw your message, Chevy. Tens of more players. Okay, that's the main thing I wanted to implement. I don't like, the platforms have literally no art, and I do not like the art for these levers, but I just wanted to get the functionality kind of working, which is working now, so that's cool. I think next, and these should be able to work like in any direction too. I think I don't really code it. Maybe I was gonna make them only horizontal, but now that I'm thinking about it, it would be kind of cool to make them work. I should make the sprites work vertically too. Yeah, that's cool. I'm actually pretty happy with that. I think I want to make it so you can attack them and they just don't do anything. I find it kind of weird when you have a sword, not hitting walls feels okay, but like I want to say you still hit these other things, I think. I find it kind of weird when you don't at all. But yeah, I'm going to take a tiny break though. I'm going to get some more water, and then, I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm going to work on for the rest of the stream. This is the main thing I wanted to get done. I might switch to some art and try to make these levers look better and make the platforms. I'll probably work on like some 9 slices for the platforms. Yes, hydrate, it's important. So I might switch to that and do that for like an hour or so. Because I don't like how yeah, like I said, the platforms have no art yet, and the levers have much to be desired. So yeah, I think I'll switch to that. But this is fun, this is cool. I'm actually happy with how this is starting. There's kind of a bug where like when these platforms are in another floor, they still move you, but I think I find that acceptable. So I'm just gonna accept that and move on. I want to try putting, I put like blocks on these and they'll like move with it. Actually, they should be flush with the wall. I was thinking maybe they shouldn't, but I mean, this level's not going to stay like this, but yeah. Okay. On that note, I will be right back, and then I'm going to work on some art and make these feel better. So yeah, I'll see you all in a few minutes. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, see you soon. Okay, I'm back. I actually don't know why
I wonder if there's a filter on the screen. I'm just realizing my webcam looks like blue-y, and I actually didn't do that on purpose, although it kind of fits the general aesthetic of everything else, but yeah, I wonder why it's blue looking. I don't really care. It's interesting though. Hey. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of like I kind of like it. I don't know how I got like that, but I like it. Okay, I want to change these switches. I mean, I'm not sure how I want to change them is one of the problems. I was thinking something like this, where it's like a thing you pull, but then it's like very explicit. Like it's kind of weird to hit it then. Because attacking it makes it go out, which is weird. But I mean, I can make it, if you attack it, it goes in and it just does the same thing. Yeah, it could be a button. Can you link two switches to the same platform? Yeah, you can actually. You can just duplicate this object, and then multiple switches can do the same one. Oh, can you add a switch option that it will no reset and stay on, or the reset timeout? Yeah, I could do that. I think that would probably be up to the, I don't know if it should be up to the lever or up to the, probably the platform. And the way I've coded this, it would probably be up to the platform. But yeah, there's a few other variations I could do. Like it would be kind of fun to do a toggle, so every time you hit it, it switches. And then also a, just a single, like it moves and then it's done. Would also be cool. But yeah, I don't know how I want this thing to look. It could also, instead of it rotating, like it could, instead of being attached to a wall, it could be like a floating thing. Right. Some kind of, I don't know, light or something, but I think a switch is like very obviously more of an orb. Yeah, it could be an orb. I mean, honestly, maybe it could be an orb. One thing I like about the switch is it feels more like mechanical, which is, feels like it fits this area, or my idea for this area. This area doesn't have anything yet, but that was kind of like a weight now. Huh. That looks like a very, like... That feels like a very bot message to me. I can't tell if that's... It feels very generated. Welcome, though. Project Rather, welcome. Guess we'll see. I can't tell if you're a bot or not. I think you're a bot. Approve. Okay, now you're not a bot. I feel like this switch needs to... What? Yeah, I don't really like how this pull. Like it... I don't know. I don't know how to do this. This feels good when you like grab it like that. Although it should have like a longer delay if I was doing it like that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I should maybe look at like references or something. Where'd my lever go? Yeah, it feels better when it's like a slightly longer pull, like in this scenario. But then I want to see you can hit it with your sword too. I guess like, yeah, and like hitting it from here is kind of weird. What do I want? I'm stuck on this. Maybe I should just come back to it. Yeah, maybe two different graphics. Honestly, maybe. Oh, I need to do the opposite of what I just did. Oh, I made that last. Okay, I need. If I want to do this, I need to do. I don't know what I was thinking there. And this is. I'll go back to idle. This is kind of ugly, but I don't really have a nice animation system to like go into other animations yet. Oh wait, yeah I do, but it's ugly. Yeah, it's next. I don't like that system, but I don't like it should be up to the animation. The animation should describe where it goes, but I just have to hard code it right now. Yeah, you know, honestly, that's not so bad. It needs to stand out more. I think I'm gonna make it bigger or something because it doesn't really pop, and it needs to pop. Actually, let me put some background tiles because that'll help make it pop at least a little bit because it's like you can't really see that it has an outline right now. So if there are like background tiles, it would be more visible. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. I think I'm gonna make the inside filled. And then I think I'm gonna make it yeah, honestly, pulling it from the side isn't that weird. It's like mildly weird. I don't think I like the base here. I wonder what happens if I do something. that look like in game? Yeah, I think I like it more that it pops like that. I'm gonna add... Sorry, this just became a very chill pixel art stream. I should maybe make these frames duplicated so I don't have to repaint this like 5 times. But it's too late. Yeah, that's kind of cool. GMSC has a really nice auto-tiling system that really speeds things up. Is the map editor custom? It probably would have been easier to copy and paste, yeah. Yeah, the map editor is custom, and it does auto-tiling. Like I have auto-tiles, so I don't hand tile these tiles. It just does it for me. Thanks. Yeah, I'm happy with it. I actually recoded it. This project used to have much simpler auto tiles, and I recoded it before. I guess not last week, the week before between streams. And I'm pretty happy with how it ended up. Okay. Now I guess I'll do some platform tiling, because actually the platforms are interesting. They're almost auto-tiley. Like I almost want to like in a weird way. These platforms are kind of also like auto tiles because they're basically like they can be varying sizes. You know, so they're almost the same as like auto tiles. So I wonder if I could just reuse my auto tiling, which would be the ugly, like pretty hacky, but I bet I could, and I bet it would work. Okay, cool. I'll move these down. Oh, hey, thank you for the raid. I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a good stream. I'm currently working on some kind of platformer. This level has a grappling hook. And so I'm working on these platforms for the grappling hook. I don't know if this is... Yeah, I think this is feeling pretty good. If I just stand here, does it grab it? No, it grabs the wall. I think I'm gonna fake this by making it slightly wider than it actually is. I think we should make the platform, or the grapple collider, Yeah, I could lower it, but I think in general, like, I feel like this is an aesthetic I'm gonna do frequently, where it's like not like one tile kind of off the ground. I kind of like it more visual. I mean, one problem is if I put this in the corner, it's actually always gonna pick the down side, which maybe I should change, because it's just like automatically figuring out which spray to use. But I kind of feel like I like it how it looks more like one tile off the ground, but I kind of feel like it should just still collide with that. But there's a chance that I'd have to make it quite a lot wider. Like if I make this, and also it might not auto rotate if I change this collider. I have to like add a different collider, or like grapple collider, which is equal to like different collider should be like wider, maybe 12 by 24. Which, yeah, I'm not sure about that. Yeah, maybe 150% bigger. Yeah, like that also looks, I don't know. Actually, if I made it thinner now, by 6, it'll look probably less weird. What does the actual collider look like? Yeah, that's, so this one is the sword collider. So if I swing at it, which seems good, and then that's the grapple one, which I can make slightly smaller. I think it's a little bit, I think you're right. I think 150% is closer to it. This is still not, it's like 160 now or something. But I think that's probably fair. Yeah, actually they do. You're right. If I make it a circle, if I make the sword one a circle instead, it'll be very familiar. I wonder if I could just auto tile. I'm curious if I could just auto tile these and just like use the room's auto tiling renderer. It would be kind of hacky though. But I probably could just like steal the room auto tiler, or not even. I don't even need the room's auto tiler. I could just. Let me try this rendering with. This is gonna be. Is it gonna be ugly? We'll see. I want a reference to my terrain asset. So assets, terrain. And I guess I'd want to like make a steel tile set or something because I want these to stand out. But I'll just use the subway tiles for now. But I think I'm going to change them to be like a steel or something. Yeah, in this case, like, well, I guess it depends what you mean by faster. Like rendering wise, it's actually the auto tiling is really simple because it's just using a binary mask, so like it should be fast. Maybe. It might be slow. I don't know. Let's try it. A 9 slice would be in theory better. I agree. I think a 9 slice, but also the 9 slice would have to be kind of a weirder size because yeah, because I want like sometimes these things can be only 1 tile thick, so my 9 slice needs to be able to be like half tile sized or something. So I'm gonna just try this for now. It does mean that I have to make the size specifically tiles. So if this is ever not tile size, this would break. So honestly, I think a 9 slice is better, but I'm gonna try this just because it sounds fun. Yeah, the auto tile. Well, the reason the auto tile is fast, like, or like, it would be faster. Like, you're right. It would be pretty fast. I think it would be faster, but it just doesn't matter too much for this case. But you are correct. that not a static function? I thought there was a static function for this. Oh, get type based on mask. Okay. So get type. And then this will be my mask. And then auto tile is going to be, I need to get my actual terrain type. So terrains, get, no, terrains, assets, get, subway, I think you called it? Actually, okay, if we don't have a terrain, then we'll just draw this rectangle. Something went wrong. I'm just getting my terrain asset. This is like the asset bank. Terrains. It stores all the terrain. And then now we want to ask the terrain get tile of this type. Oh, an origin, it needs a rendering offset, so and then seed. Oh, let's do x plus y times column. Is that a point? And then we'll do batch dot texture tile. Is this a it's a texture reference tile? And then offset should be, I think, this offset or origin? Like origin. Probably negative origin times 12 then. That's probably good enough. So I should check if the tile exists, I guess. We can apparently return a null tile, which is yeah, okay, so mask is not a real variable yet. So u8 mask it's gonna be equal to, this should be really simple. I just need to say like I guess I just need to go through each one. I'm gonna copy this from my room code, which does this auto tiling. I showed this earlier, like at the start of the stream. But instead of solid, we're gonna say, yeah, here's basically like if it's out of bounds. So I basically want these to be empty if they're out of bounds. What's the easiest way to code this? I'm just gonna write it. This is kind of a weird hacky thing, but okay. Okay, in theory, this should just work now. Creating my mask. It's kind of I don't, yeah. It's a whole thing. Did not work. Well, it gets columns and rows. They exist. There's a mask that's in theory being created that has some value, 8 apparently, which means that x is 0 and y is 0. Is that right? Let me see what tile it gives me back, I guess. I thought that I should have horizontal left. That seems right. And then I say get my tile for that, which is some value that seems correct. And then I'm not drawing it at my position. I'm just drawing it at 0, 0. That'll work. Interesting. Did I code this wrong? X is smaller than columns. Y is smaller than rows. Y plus plus. Feels like it's always giving. Wait, no, I totally had like. Oh, I'm not trying it. Okay, this is fine. Back to F. X minus origin dot X by Y minus origin dot Y times 12. That should do it. Yeah, okay. So it does work. And they move. But in theory, I would want these to be a custom tile set instead of. But yeah, now I could like resize these to whatever, and it'll work exactly like the tiles do. They could even be like weird shapes. Not that I'm going to do that, but yeah. So now, if I make a custom tile set for them, which I have the subway one open. We can control save this as like steel. I don't know, I'll just sprite something here quickly for them. They shouldn't have stuff sticking out. A-Sprite's been doing this thing where like I click on these and then they like it doesn't pop up with them sometimes. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I need to update. I'm kind of like the 1 pixel of shadow. And then this isn't really steel, but it's something. I want a darker color, which should be somewhere. Where's it? 1, 2, 3. That should be about right. I'm really bad at like doing these looping tile things. This is where I should probably use A-Sprite's new tile system. Okay, I want this to be 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the next one. 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not right. Oh, these are 12 by 12, not 16 by 16. My bad. I was doing these as if it was 16 by 16, so that's wrong. I guess 16 by 16 could just be every 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just be toggled, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is the end, yeah. Yeah, that should be fine. So now I won't do all this. I mean, this one doesn't even need slopes or inner sides, so I'll just leave it still. Copy these over here. I don't even know if the inner will be noticeable. Yeah, it won't even be. That's kind of funny. Yeah, whatever. This is fine for now. Spent all this work on these insides. Won't even be visible. Unless I make the insides thinner. Background and foreground grid thing is messing with my brain. Does not feel right. Background and foreground grid. Oh yeah, yeah, I see. Yeah. Yeah. And I want this to be steel instead of subway. Yeah. And maybe if I make these thicker, it might be cool if they're like thick anyways. And then I think finally they should go behind the wall. What the fuck happened? Why is that flickering like that? That's weird. I have to look into that. I don't know. It's it only started happening when it got thicker. I think there's something wrong with my mover. Yeah, it's like hitting the other one or something. There's like push-outs happening that I have to look into. There's something with my move code. Like these are kinematics, so they shouldn't be caring about other objects at all, but clearly they are slightly, so that's weird. I also don't like how they overlap each other, so I might get rid of the black borders on them. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't love the 1 pixel on the outside of them. I added that here, but I think that should be done dynamically. Like I think all tile sets should be doing that dynamically because I actually think I want them behind objects but in front of the foreground anyways. It's weird, like right now when the player stands on the ground, they're actually missing their feet because there's that 1 pixel black outline which goes above the player. So you can see like they don't have feet right now. They don't like, whereas you can see it like if I put the player on like a block that's like doesn't have an outline like that, now you can see their feet. So I want the ground to be like that, but I need to separate those layers somehow, which I have not done yet. So yeah, gotta do that. I think I'm just gonna change their depth. So right here. I don't know how far back they need to be behind the. I should just look it up. They're still in front. I think foregrounds are at 500. Yeah, there we go. Cool. I'm gonna fix. So I'll fix that after stream though. I honestly actually think at this point I'm gonna call the stream because I've been going about 3 hours and I actually need to eat something, so I'm probably gonna do that. But yeah, this is cool, and I appreciate everyone hanging out and being here and stuff. It's fun. I'm really enjoying streaming like code stuff. It's been really fun. I want to keep doing it more often because it's just like, I don't know, it's a cool thing to do, and it's been really enjoyable, and I definitely get more stuff done. Like I work way slower because I'm answering questions and talking to people, but I actually get stuff done, so that's cool. And yeah, I don't know, it's been fun. I really enjoy it, so hopefully I can keep it up. We'll see what happens. I don't know if Sundays are always going to be like my day to do this because obviously some Sundays I have stuff happening, but this last few weeks have been pretty free, so that's cool. But yeah, I'm going to try to keep doing like at least streaming once a week. And yeah, it's been good. Okay, on that note, I think I'll see you all later, and I appreciate hanging out. Yeah, and I hope you have a good rest of your day, whatever time of day it is. Okay, see ya.